Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Shower Talk podcast. My name is Dylan,
This is Fredo.
and appreciate you guys coming in. Want to say Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad for all of our Hispanics out there. Today's going to be a little bit of a different episode.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Merry Kwanzaa and
All the outside, like with work, we can't even say Merry Christmas anymore.
at your job.
Yeah.
Really?
We have to be like Happy Holidays.
Really?
Yeah. Because you know how there's so many holidays
Yeah.
in December?
Yeah. We're inclusive.
Yeah, you can't just say Merry Christmas because people take it offensive.
Wow. That's crazy.
It is. I'm like, so we can't even put like a Christmas tree? They're like, nah, because it represents Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
And like,
At your job?
because we have to follow like federal guidelines as far as treating everybody the same.
Yeah.
So we don't want to signal somebody out with their religion.
But don't you feel like you're casting them aside more by not allowing them to be who they are? And because let's think about it like this, right? Okay.
Well, I think it would be opposite. It would be casting us.
Right. I know. That's what I'm trying to say is like inclusivity actually excludes people, because if you're really trying this is just kind of not where we wanted to go today. But if you talk about say the whole, Black Lives Matter, George Floyd and everything that occurred, right? I would hear a lot of, African Americans that would say, the problem is we do Black Lives Matter and you do all lives matter when you're trying to include yourselves in this, versus, it's like people say, I don't see color where you should, because I'm African American, I'm black, you're white, there's obviously going to be a difference in it. And so we have to pay respect to that, and I think in the same sense, if you're trying to create inclusiveness, why not let me worship my God? Why can't I talk about my God? If you can talk about you being, a trans, you having 18 different pronouns or whatever it may be, let me talk about my God. If I have to abide by the things that you want, why can't I do the same thing? Why can't you feel the inclusivity of the way I want to? That's my real thought. And I had to vent because I have worked in, call centers for years already. And it's like that every single job I go to. They say, oh, we respect everybody's religions. We respect everybody's decision for their genders or sexualities and who your preferences, whatever it may be, right? But if I talk about God, it's like, oh, we can't have that. But I have seen people walk into my job, not the one I work at right now, at a previous job, that would walk in with like a pentagram and a goat with like red eyes. Like straight up satanic, like straight up, but nobody bats an eye.
Bruh.
For real. No, I'm not even capping, like for real. And like tatted up with like demonic symbols and stuff like that. And, I've seen that kind of stuff, but nothing. But I saw a person came in with a Jesus on the t-shirt, had to go home and change.
You're lying.
For real. Which I think we got to talk about this in a different episode.
Yeah. I don't think we wanted to go in that route,
yeah,
but
it's crazy.
But I was just bringing it up because I just get so used to saying Happy Holidays now rather than just saying Merry Christmas.
And for me, some of my fondest memories are the holidays.
Yeah.
I love the holidays, man.
So do I. I think as of November 1st, actually, because my birthday is November 2nd.
Yeah, no one cares.
So there's a disrespect, but that's for a different story. You know what? He told us not to mention him, but kudos to our producer because he loves me.
I respect it. Amen.
But going back to it, after November 1st,
yeah,
everything like the tree starts going up.
Yeah.
In our house, tree starts going up. It has to stay on there until after New Year's.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to just keep it for a month or so.
Yeah.
Typically, because for me, we didn't put up a tree when I was growing up until I got married.
For real?
Yeah, my wife's one of those. You know, my wife.
No,
has,
wait, what?
my wife's a girl of influence.
Wait, why didn't your parents want to put one up?
I don't know. I never understood it when I was growing up, but I didn't really care for it, to be honest, because I mean, we always had gifts growing up, but I always knew like they made it known when I was small, like there was no Santa, like.
Yeah, me too. I grew up the same way. Yeah,
there was no Santa.
Yeah.
We bought the gifts, like you know.
There's no tooth fairy. I never grew up with any of that. And honestly, my childhood was great. For the most part, you know, I was a troublemaker. So, you know, if anything was ruined, it was because of me.
Right.
But yeah, I never grew up with any of that because obviously, you know, we grew up in Christian households and both of our parents being pastors and stuff like that. Is we were instilled with, you know, God being the primary focus, you know, the Christmas being Christ,
right?
You know, and then obviously Easter's, you know, the resurrection of Jesus, that kind of stuff. Everything, you know, trying to portray what we really believe in, you know, versus what most people try to do with Christmas or, you know, Easters and eggs and stuff like that.
And I think for my parents, I don't think it was so much like we're not going to put a Christmas tree up because we don't believe in the Christmas tree or anything like that. Yeah. I think it was more of the fact that how they were also raised in the ministry and in their Christian, like the Christian walk. Yeah. Because I don't think back then, like in the early 2000s, I'm talking early 2000, 2001 to like maybe 2009 before, they were like hardcore, you know what I mean? Like we're Pentecostal, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Hardcore Pentecostal type of thing. And I honestly, I never questioned it, why we never had a tree until I started getting older and I wanted like, you know, I like a tree. Yeah. I like the look of a tree, you know? And then, even then, until I officially got married with my wife, that like we moved in with my parents and all that good stuff, we're literally on our weekend, because I got married December 13th.
Okay.
So literally after we got married, we went to Walmart because we were wasted because of the wedding. Yeah. Bought a $25 tree.
Wait, you were wasted because of the wedding?
Like money wasted, like gone.
Okay. Sorry, guys. This is a Christian podcast. I just wanted to make sure if we end it right here.
Yeah. I had no money, broke.
Yeah.
And we went to Walmart, bought a tree. And put it in my living room. My mom was shocked.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
She was shooketh.
What'd she say?
She's like, "What is this tree doing in my house?" But you know what? After, yeah, bro. And then after, it just came a tradition lately. And now with like my nieces and my daughters. Yeah. Now, like my mom is like the first one to put up a tree.
That's awesome.
You know,
yeah, that's cool.
And she takes advantage of it. She invites my nieces and the little ones to go and help her put the tree up.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, like one. I think last year, I think it's around the same time of like Thanksgiving. We showed up to her house because she invited us to eat, and I'm like, "How is the tree already up?" And she bought a chimney. Like those little chimneys, the little warmers. Yeah. With the fire pits. Yeah. To put right next to it. So I'm like, yeah. How are you gonna be like this when we're growing up and now it's just switch it up on me like that? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but I get it. I mean, they do say that they what is it? They give more to the grandkids. Than what they did to the actual kids. I feel that.
Yeah, I remember I spoke to my my wife's uncle one time, and he goes, "When are you guys gonna have kids, right?" And I was like, you know, when the time is right, you know. And then he goes, "Man, it's never gonna be right. You're never gonna be prepared, et cetera, right? And I've heard this conversation like 80 times, and but he goes, "Man, but nothing beats being a grandpa." He goes, and I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Because, man, I could do whatever I want with them, play with them, give them gifts. I can teach them, instruct them, you know, to be, you know, obviously I've learned with my kids and found out like what things, you know, are, you know, good and bad and whatnot, right?" And then he goes, and then, "Man, this kid poops himself. Not my responsibility." You know, hand him off. Yeah.
And it'd be like that. Yeah. Or like my mom is big on like, you know, if they come to her and they ask her for like $1. Yeah. And for like the candy shop at church. Yeah. She'll give it to them. Like, cause she knows she's going to go to home. She can go to sleep. Yeah. And
I'm not going to be awake.
Right. But I think my daughter's a little bit, Melody's a little bit more aware in that area. She don't ask for $1.
How much did she ask
That's for
for?
5.
Gosh dang.
Yeah. She's like, or like the other day, because, we teach them young to like, make sure you give your offering to the ofrenda,
That's cool.
to the offering. And my dad didn't have any more dollar bills because he typically gives each one of them a dollar bill every single time we do the offering for them to put it in there. And he ran out and he gave Melody a $5 bill. Guess what my daughter did?
Kept it.
Yeah.
Gosh dang. I knew it. Your daughter's wild.
Yeah. And we talked to her, but we didn't know until after we went to go eat dinner. And my dad's like, yo, you know what Melody did? I'm like, what? So she came to ask for the ofrenda like she does every service. And I didn't have any more dollars, so I gave her a $5 to put it in the thing. And instead of her going straight into the altar to give it, she's went the other way. But that was funny. But just growing up, man, and seeing that change in the generations for us to grow and to see how our parents evolved too.
Yeah.
During these times.
Yeah. Well, me and you, we were hanging out last night, and we were talking about like the differences in like generations and stuff like that, right? So I guess like, what are some of, obviously you have kids now, and you see like how you guys do Christmas and stuff like that now. But like, what was it that you used to do for Christmas?
What didn't I do?
What did you guys do? Or what were your fondest memories or things you guys?
When we were growing up, it would always be hanging out with all the cousins during the holidays. For Thanksgiving, I mean, you're part of this. You're part of this now. Like the turkey bowl. The day of Thanksgiving in the morning. Yeah. Going playing football.
Wait, hold up real quick. You can't say you're part of this now. I've been the one leading it for the past like 10 years.
Because I retired.
And you haven't even gone to play one. Because
I retired. Time. My knees don't hold up as much. First of all, hold on. Let's make a break here. I'm gonna clap. Not necessarily stop the camera rolling. I was setting up the set. Okay, I'm a hefty guy. I lost my breath. I was wheezing. Okay, and you expect me to go play football like that? Come on, guy.
Well, you're gonna
in the morning. Okay,
yeah.
In the morning.
Yeah.
Getting the blood flow going. And then me wheezing like that, like I just did right now, putting up this little tree on the corner.
It's called conditioning. It's called practicing. It's called putting yourself in the position.
You know what? I got a couple weeks, maybe like a week or two before.
Yeah, you're not gonna be conditioned in that amount of time.
I'm gonna hit in the gym with a good friend. See if it happens this week.
Hey, good friend. Do you think he's going? He's not going. He's not going. You know what? I'm going to tell you some of my fondest memories. There was this one time for Christmas. Dude, I remember it so vividly. I remember, so we had, hold up. It was already like midday or whatever. And when we spend Christmas, obviously, in our Hispanic households, I don't know how most people do it, but in ours, we wouldn't open gifts until midnight. Right. we waited and we stayed up all night. And I remember that day. So we were hanging out. We were just, chilling. So the way my grandma lived, we would always go to my grandma's house. She had a big front yard and backyard. And where she literally lived like in front of the park, like right next to the park, like legitimately right there. You take 10 steps forward, you're at the park. And so we would go hang out at the park. We'll go play sports. We'll go play. Dude, we were crazy kids, dude. I got stories to tell. But afterwards, we came inside, and we're sitting there, and it's time to open gifts. Okay, so it's my turn to open my gift. So my uncle pulled out his gift, and at that time my grandpa was making pretty good amount of money at that time, and so he would buy all of us, and there wasn't as many grandkids at that time. Now we took God's promise for real. We said multiply. Yeah. So at that time there weren't as many of us, so my uncle got he's like 6 years older than I am, so he got a PSP. It had just came out, right? So he's like, oh hell yeah, this is freaking sick. And the dude already got like Need for Speed, Undercover or Underground, and the one with the cops.
Yeah.
That one was low key. That one was a banger. And then my brother opens up his. They got him a PSP. So, I'm fully expecting a PSP at this point, I didn't get a PSP. I opened...
They did your journey like the videos at the
I got a potato, an avocado.
Where they give them the PS5 box. And the kids open it, they're all hysterical. And then they open it up, there's a bunch of books inside.
Hey, dude, I used to read a lot as a kid. No, but I opened mine up. I got a Game Boy. Still super sick. I got a Game Boy Micro. And I still have it till this day. And I remember I opened mine up. My cousin opened his up at the same time, and my other cousin opened his at the same time. All three of us got a Game Boy Micros. So all the guys got video games, PSPs and Game Boy Micros. And then my uncle had a PS2 at that time. We were playing San Andreas, obviously. And so as soon as we saw that, we went straight to my uncle's room, and we all started playing video games. So I'm like sitting at the bedside because my uncle wouldn't let us on his bed because it would just be him and my older brother because my older brother was a year younger than he was, and it was just them two, and the hoodlums had to go. You know how bad my uncle was to go to his room. I don't know why. This is how Mexican the household was. He had a dog door to his bedroom door. Yeah, I don't know why, but for us to get in that room, we had to go through the dog door. So he would lock the door, and we'll go through the dog door if he wanted to go in. Like, we'll knock on the door, we won't get permission. All right, I'm going through the dog door. And if he really didn't want us in, he'll put like his dresser in front of the dog door. Yeah, he was like that. Dude, that was so sick. And then we started playing, and then afterwards, we had besides those, we also got some, I don't know if you remember these, but they were like Hulk hands. They were like made of like foam kind of, and they were massive. They were like this. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And so
that said Hulk smash?
Yeah. So I remember, I unboxed it. I got a pair, and then my cousin got a pair. Immediately we go outside and we all start boxing. We start just straight up rampaging each other, dude. Like immediately, dude. Some kids got laid out for sure, dude. Yeah, and everybody. So there was always one crier. You know who you are. Yeah, that's the guy that plays your piano.
But for us, it was always. I don't know if you guys ever played this. We used to play Cops and Robbers.
Okay. Yeah.
Everybody outside. Because we were. Everybody was still around the same age.
Yeah, our cops, we call them migra.
Yeah?
Yeah, no.
But we would go outside. Literally, we're talking because I don't know what time you guys got together, but in my household, in our family, we would wouldn't start eating till like 9 p.m.
Dang.
Yeah.
No, we eat all day.
We would start at night, like literally get together like around 6, they would say 6. Nobody would show up till like 7, 8 o'clock at night. And by the time everything got set up, everything got reheated, we're talking 9 p.m.
Dang. That's like...
So in the meantime, we would go outside though and just literally start playing with everybody. And then of course there was always somebody crying for sure. And there was not one Christmas that it wasn't like that. Yeah. But no, I think for us, our presents, we used to open up all together.
Yeah.
But it just took too long.
Yeah, it takes forever.
Because we had 8. I have in total 6, 7.
Dang.
Uncles and aunts.
Holy shit,
in the mixture of both. And each one has my mom is the only one that has 3 kids. Everybody else had 5, 4.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not just one present for...
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? So eventually what we just started doing, just when we go home, we would open up presents at home.
Right. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, man, I grew up a lot of fun memories, hanging out with my cousins, just hanging out. Even now, not everybody shows up, but now we've all grown up and we all have kids. And you just to see like the little ones get together, same thing, like playing with the toys or going outside, because even chilling outside too, as an adult is different.
Yeah.
You're not playing cops and robbers. You're just mainly just how you been. Yeah. How you been? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like some of my cousins are pretty good cooks too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
What do you guys make for food?
And make sure of everything. It's like a big potluck.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So everybody brings like different foods.
Yeah, and like my uncles are good cooks too. So
That's sick.
um,
So,
like-
but what are your guys' go tos? Like this always has to be there.
Like for Christmas, they make for Thanksgiving is a big potluck. Like there's always turkey and things like that, but then everybody makes a mixture of everything.
Okay.
For Christmas, they try to get together and come up with one specific meal. But typically, I'm not a big fan of like the goat birria or the
Okay.
barbacoa.
The traditional Mexican stuff. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah.
So
Which is at every holiday, every quinceañera, every wedding, every party.
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of goat or anything that's not a cow, chicken, or beef.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or fish.
Okay.
If it's not those types of proteins, I'm kind of not a big fan because I just don't like the taste. But that's just me. But they just either that or they make pasta or they make something that everybody can eat. One time they tried to making carnitas fresh, which was good, but for like an actual like Christmas meal, they didn't feel like it.
My grandpa sometimes, so we would make like we had a hole at my aunt's house, like I think like maybe like a 4 or 5 foot hole, and my grandpa would cook the meat in the hole. It is the most tender, juiciest meat you've ever had.
You know, I've seen a couple of videos of that, and then they go the next morning and take it out. I think it's raw.
Oh, that's disgusting. No way.
But I've tried it. I've actually tried it.
So good.
I think it was your brother's.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, your brother's wedding.
Smack.
It was good. It was really good.
My grandpa could throw it down. The reason I asked about the food is gonna be weird, but so in my family we do kind of like potluck style too. Everybody kind of bring in a little bit of something. You know, obviously there's some family members that cook better than others, and we make tamales. What kind of tamales do you guys make? Do you guys make tamales for the holidays?
Yes, they make a little bit of. So typically, one of my aunts is really big tamale lady. Like she makes some of the best tamales for me.
Yeah.
So she makes red, but they're all pork.
Okay.
Red chili, green chili, and then they make rajas con queso. But it's not like your traditional because my family is like down south Mexico.
Okay.
So it's not like your traditional like tamales that you hear like you mix the meat with the chili.
Okay.
And then you put like potatoes or carrots or things like that or olives, things like that. Just like my
I'm
wife's.
not a fan either.
Yeah, my wife's family makes tamales like that, which they're good. They're really good.
Keep
I
those.
just can't eat the olives.
Yeah, just don't bring them to my potluck.
I'm gonna bring you some actually because
Good, bro. Thanks.
she makes it beef. She makes beef tamales. My
Okay.
wife.
Cool.
They don't eat pork, but it's good.
Keep them, yeah.
All right, guys.
Because so my family we do them like that. We don't do the vegetables
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Okay, so I don't know how this came about. Honestly, okay, this is gonna be weird, and some people are gonna be grossed out, and I might lose my Mexican card here. But
Don't say it.
but
Don't say it.
there's we eat in my family. A lot of us eat the tamales with some ketchup. All right, and I'm talking about like the carne ones, the beef ones.
That's
you know, the with the red chili. Put a little. Don't drench it in ketchup. Kind of like dip it in. You know, like
It's not a French fry.
No, but it adds the flavor, dude.
Yeah,
it's so freaking good.
Are you that type of person that puts bananas in the rice?
I've never tried it. I want to though because I heard it's really good. I'm willing to try it too. I'm willing to try.
Crazy.
Nah, dude. I think it's
disrespect
different.
to a tamale.
No, it's not. But
It's a disrespect.
No, it's not. It's not though, because you know what? There's different cultures and stuff like that. You know, in Mexico.
Hold on. What culture in Mexico? People who are listening, people who are watching. What culture in Mexico grabs a perfectly good steamed tamale, and in the right mind says, "Let me just dip it in some ketchup."
I'm not gonna take this abuse from you.
Please tell me.
Because look, my family, we do that, okay? And you know, I don't remember what part of Mexico, but there's people that put ketchup on their pizza, okay? So why is that any different? There's people that dip their pizza in milk.
Okay,
Okay, now
that
I'm not
you?
that weird. No, what?
Is that you?
I'm not that weird no more.
Because
Right?
first of all, I've never heard anybody say, "Let me dip a pizza in ketchup." Let me dip my pizza in milk. That's just.
You know what? For all my TikTokers, find that video, tag him in it, please.
I don't have TikTok, guys.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's freaking good, dude. You gotta try it one time.
I
Try it one
cannot
time.
imagine. First of all, I cannot imagine pizza with milk. I mean, if it's a glass
not
of milk,
that. I'm talking
if
about
it's a
the-
breakfast pizza like we used to have in school, 100%.
Ew, I'm still not dipping it in.
Well, no, not that. I said on the side.
Oh, okay,
On the
okay,
side,
gotcha. Yeah.
Pizza with ketchup, still
Yeah.
kind of person does that. But especially in the holidays, and you want to dip a tamale in ketchup.
Try it one time.
I
Okay?
will not try it.
I'll give you $5 to try it.
You got to multiply it because whatever I'm going to spend on $5 on medicine is going to
Look, if you try it, and I'll try your wife's tamales.
bet.
I bet.
Shaking on it.
All right, bet. It's on the podcast. It's on here
You're
forever.
going to fall in love.
All right, I doubt it, but
You fall in love. It's good.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm willing to try it. What else? Go ahead.
Do you guys do pozole?
My grandparents love it, so I think my mom will make it. That kind of stuff. I'm not a fan of pozole. I don't like pozole. I don't like menudo.
Mexican.
I'm American.
You're
okay?
Guatemalan. That's right.
No, I'm American. Born in the USA. I'm stamped, baby.
That's insane. I cannot.
It is. Well, you know what?
I am, guys. If you guys are seeing my reaction, this is an honest and genuine reaction of what I'm hearing right now, because this is so hard to hear right now. That my co-host, first of all, dips tamales in ketchup,
You know what?
and then doesn't like menudo, doesn't like pozole. I don't know what to say.
You know what?
I am speechless.
It is what it is.
I won't judge you though.
Yeah, right. As if we haven't spent the past 5 minutes judging me.
I'm not judging. I'm just simply my reaction of I've never heard anybody do that.
So
I've
now
never-
it's wrong because you've never heard of it.
I've never seen somebody do it either.
You know what? At one point, okay, I'm about to destroy your whole argument.
Okay.
At one point, nobody heard or has seen Jesus either, yet we worship him till this day.
Oh my God.
So there you go. I'm gonna end it at that.
My drop.
I'm gonna end it at that.
He said, guys, we're comparing the gospel to a tamale and ketchup. That's insane.
I'm not comparing.
That's insane.
I'm not comparing.
You just literally compared the
am not
gospel
comparing
with a tamale and ketchup.
I am not comparing it.
But that's all right, guys. You know what? We had amazing memories of our Christmases.
But you know what? Talking about our Christmases and stuff like that, right? Let's talk about the fact that, okay, so we were talking about food and stuff like that, and really back to the gifts, okay?
Yeah.
So if we talk about gifts, I think, I don't know, to me, I feel like we've kind of lost ourselves in the portion of gifts when it comes to Christmas. And like, don't get me wrong, dude. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love a good gift and stuff like that. And it's awesome. Because sometimes it's not like about the material of like money, but the love that somebody gave and poured out. Like my wife started like crocheting, and, you know, it's one of those TikTok trends, you know, that some people be doing. And so she saw it.
Side note, talking about TikTok tricks. Just side note, I don't want to cut you off.
I thought you said you don't watch TikTok.
No, well, it's not a TikTok because I watched it on a reel
I got him.
and a short. And I tried one of those hacks, right? You go like in and out, ask for a burger a certain way, and then you ask for like the stuff and stuff. I felt so judged. I'm never going back to the in and out on the I-10 Dysart. I just want to point it out.
This guy calling us a specific in and out is crazy.
I got judged. I really did. But continue.
What they say to you?
Hold up.
I gotta know that you gotta call out their specific address.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Let me can we get so I seen this thing where you get a Flying Dutchman. You know what's a Flying Dutchman?
Yeah.
And then I ask for it protein style, so it could be lettuce wrap, right? So the whole onions, the meat in the middle, and then lettuce wrap, and then you get a side of the buns double toasted, so crunchy.
Yeah.
Right. I asked for it that way. It's exactly like the video said. The lady didn't get judged. Right. I go there and I said, he's like, well, I've never heard that. I don't even know how to put a side of bread on here. And then she turns around to the other lady because at that specific location they have the people taking out. There's 2 lines.
Yeah.
Taking orders. She yells at the other lady to help her. She's all like, "Yo, you know how to bring up the side of the bun?" She's all like, "Oh, they're doing the TikTok thing again." And I'm like, I looked at my wife and I'm like, I feel so attacked right now.
That's what you get.
And then
for
they start
trying to do
having
it.
a conversation with amongst each other about it.
That's what you get. You held up a whole line. I hope you do feel
Sorry.
judged. But
Sorry, guys.
everybody,
I
you know
just
what?
felt really
Go
judged.
to that specific in and out from now on because this guy's a bum. But relating back to the gifts, I think we kind of like start doing all these gifts and stuff like that, and we kind of lose ourselves in that portion of Christmas when, you know, us as Christians, we try to signify it's the birth of Christ, you know, and that's the biggest gift that any of us could have received, whether or not we accept it. Like whether or not I choose to believe Christ is God, whether or not I choose to believe Christ is real, whether or not I choose to believe that Christ was ever alive at one point in time for us that are believers, we're going to believe on the behalf of those non-believers too, because Christ is the greatest gift that any of us could have received. Because through him came our salvation, through him came mercy and grace that followed through for thousands of years, and we continue to live through on a daily basis.
For me, I honestly, I started seeing the gift of giving a different way when we decided to gift a church on the other side of the border.
Okay. That's cool, man.
With different gifts, and they're not like super fancy gifts, nothing like that, but
they're less fortunate.
We took it to the other side of the border. They took pictures and everything, but to see the reaction in the kids' faces said it all to me, because it's not some state of the art action figure like it talks to you and interacts to you. It's more like, you know, like $10-15 toys.
Yeah.
$10 basketball, $10 soccer ball, and for them to take it.
Yeah.
And then you go back time after that, and they still have the little toy, in a great condition. Mm-hmm. You know, that to me speaks volumes to itself, because now we're so focused on the material aspect of the gift. Yeah, and like you said, we forget the true meaning of what we're doing, and I think that was a big eye opener. That was a big eye opener for me. Which now if we do gifts at our house, it's mainly like a gift exchange, like a Secret Santa type of thing. Like pick a white elephant, that type of thing. That's cool. And just getting a gift from one specific person, but literally going out of the box, going out of your way, thinking for them. Because sometimes we don't even get people that we know, like, you know, like your in-laws or another person that you typically, and you gotta like, all right, what do they like? Or we know what I'm saying, like things like that. And that to me, it's much more valuable to me than buying a bugload of presents and just making it seem like, oh, I have all this. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. To give, and I honestly, to me, that was the biggest eye opener for me. When it comes down to that, and it showed me that the true meaning of like Christmas is really within the first 5 letters or 6 letters of Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome. 100%. I think if anything, you know, we got to bring it back to, you know, just oriented around family. You know, I think because especially like obviously, you know, there's so many different cultures and the way people do things. And like, for example, here in the U.S., at least in the city life, we're so fast paced and we try to orient things a certain way, and we kind of like try to get things done in a certain manner, try to move quick and stuff like that, right? But we gotta kind of like get back to the orientation of communionship and being able to just spend time with family, hanging out, and because I feel like, again, the biggest gift being Christ. Besides that, is also having our families.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I've had some family pass away and have seen some deaths, more as of recently, and you never know when your time's up. You just don't. So whenever you can, not just holidays, not just this time of year, but whenever you can, spend that time, because it's the blessing that God gave us, and I think it's just how we can really ground ourselves once again as to where we come from, who we are as a people, and what God's design was for us as a generation. And I feel like it's also a manner for us to stay humble, etc. So I think that's the biggest thing that I can say in regard to, as of right now. We're trying to keep it as a light episode.
Yeah.
A little bit different, because we wanted to have a good time. But overall, I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope everybody, gets the gifts that they wanted or whatever it may be. But most importantly, I really hope that, we come together as a family, make a little fire, hang out, sit down, have a conversation, try challenge yourselves this holiday. Like, don't just try to focus off of like, we got sports on or watch a movie, whatever it is, but like, orient yourself around the family, get to know each other once again, and find out that love again for that person.
And I would say too, just to touch on that, invite somebody who you're not used to hanging out with.
Yeah.
Because
change that dynamic.
Yeah,
man.
change that dynamic. I think we were talking about before we started the podcast, and I think it's right. Sometimes we got to come out of our comfort zones to grow.
Yeah.
And I always, if I can, I always try hanging out with somebody different or inviting somebody different. Because we all, a lot of people come to this country with bare to nothing.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's people out there who don't have their families here.
Yeah.
And, always being a sense of a brotherhood or a brother or a family member, just hanging out with people like that. Mm-hmm. And to us, like on the 24th, I typical Hispanic household, got to go to like 10 different
Thanksgivings, Christmases, New Year's.
Right. And on the actual Christmas day, we hang out with my parents and just get together. And, just getting together, making a meal, and just hanging out as a family. I think to me, that has been the biggest blessing to me.
Heck yeah, dude. So I hope everybody else has the exact same experience, and be safe out there. Unfortunately, there's, things that are happening around the world, but you know what? What a better way to spend it than being with family, you know? So from our family to yours, Merry Christmas. God bless you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Deuces.